Hello, and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I am going to be showing you how to make a prosthetic wound. And this is just going to be a very easy wound, a little cut on your cheek with some blood coming out. So a couple of things that you will need: some liquid latex, some tweezers, some scissors, you will need Vaseline, you'll need a tissue, and then you'll also need some accoutrements or colors or whatever. I will put the link to this latex that I got off of Amazon. It was only, I think, 12 bucks for this 16 fluid ounce bottle. What you first want to do is choose the area that you want to put the latex on. I'm actually going to be building it up off of my face. I like to do it on my face so that I know exactly how it's going to lay. What you first want to do is put some Vaseline or petroleum jelly on the area of your skin that you're going to be putting the liquid latex on. This will help you be able to peel it off a lot easier when you're done with it and after it's dried, and also it protects your skin from the latex because Vaseline creates a little barrier for your skin. So just rub it on. Putting the Vaseline on this large area of skin, you want to have the edges of your prosthetic be very thin so you can blend it into the rest of your skin. So now we're going to break out the latex. Make sure you shake it up very well before you use it. I'm just using a little eyelash case as a little trough. That'll be easier. Now you can use a stippled sponge to do it. I like to use my finger. Dip it in there and just dab over the Vaseline. And it's really important to let it dry completely. That way the layers will all kind of blend together rather than if you just keep on glopping it on when it's still not dry. That's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to make it a realistic looking wound and you want it to blend. So we just keep on going. There we go. I kind of feel like I'm Nelly back in the 90s when he had the little white bandage or tape or whatever it was on his cheek. Give a little bit of and a little bit of let it hang all out. With the tissue, you want to make sure that you separate both sides of it, so then you'll get something very thin. Just rip little strips like this. You can kind of measure it to how wide your wound is going to be. You always want to make sure that the edges of it are kind of serrated and broken up, that it's not a clean line. This will also help you blend in. Today's video has been brought to you by blending. Now, while this is not quite dry, we're going to take 2 small pieces of our tissue and put one on top and put some more latex over that. And then we're going to take the other piece, put it on the bottom so there's a little gap. And we wait for it to dry. And while this is drying, I can show you the fake blood I made. It's very goopy. So I like to use this thick goopy blood to add accents on top of the wound and like inside the wound crevice. So to make that blood, I combined cornstarch, honey, maple syrup, some chocolate sauce, some red food coloring. If I want to make it so that it looks like it's dripping down, I add a little bit more food coloring or a little bit more water, so that way I can have some nice dripping blood lines coming down. So this is drying very nicely. If you are going to be using a fan or a hairdryer to help dry the latex, if you don't have a long time to just kind of sit around and wait for it to dry, always make sure to have the hairdryer on cool rather than on hot, because cool air and cool water helps solidify the latex, whereas if it's warm or hot, it will melt the latex and not have it dry, which is redundant of not drying. So, and we don't want that. You're going to want to blend it onto your skin and make sure just to kind of tap it and make sure that no latex comes off of it. I'm going to kind of create a red ring around it to blend it more thoroughly into my skin. So I'm going to be using Magic Flower Concealing Shading Powder. I'm going to use a little bit of red eyeshadow. I'm going to be using Lime Crime's Muse. a little bit of Rebirth and Shell. Then we're going to take our tweezers, and in that little gap that we had, we're going to slowly and gently pull off the latex. And you can take your scissors and help along. You want to make sure though that you do not cut your skin. And then I just kind of pull the edges apart a little bit and flatten them down. I'm going to be using Magical Halo Cosmetics and a dose of color, Zeska and Focalure. I always start with the brightest red tones first and then build up with the darker color. You want to have a realistic looking wound and realistic blood. Here we go. And now it's time for the blood. And you're done. Yay! Look at it. This guy right here is my handle on Instagram. Look at all of my daily looks. You can click this little guy up here to subscribe to my channel, and you can click these guys over here to watch some of my past videos. So make sure you give me a big thumbs up, and I will see you guys on the next video. Mwah!